Hey there, welcome back to No Pants Profits. My name's Richard, coming to you today, October 14th, 2022, from the brand newly refurbished 20-year-old Carnival Conquest. Now, the Carnival Conquest just got out of dry dock in Cadiz, sailed all the way over on the transatlantic, and got to Miami, where it's going to be going to the Caribbean on shorter cruises, not the longer cruises, but the shorter 4 or 5 day cruises for the next few months of 2022 and going into 2023. So the dry dock was primarily a marine dry dock, but they did change a lot of the chairs on the pool deck and things like that. But let's get started in the review and I'll show you the ocean. Today's a sea day and we've got the ocean right there, and I always like to start the review exactly where we get on board. So you're going to get on board on deck 3 when you embark in the port of Miami, or whatever port this happens to be at in the future, and you'll see these doors right here will be nice and open. Now, one of the great things I will tell you, the embarkation experience on this cruise is the best embarkation experience I've ever had on any cruise ever. And that's saying a lot. I've sailed as a suite passenger. I've sailed in a whole bunch of different ways. They scanned us right before security. They had someone with a little pocket computer, scanned us in. We went through security and we walked on board the boat. I've never seen something that efficient, and I'm gonna be honest with you, it's not something I was expecting, that level of efficiency from Carnival. As of right now, you do not need to be vaccinated to go on board either. This is, again, as of October 10th, 2022. If you do not have a COVID vaccine, you can put a negative COVID test, which you can take either at a testing site or at home. But let's go ahead and let's jump on in. So this is the main door. These doors are generally held open, and it gets us right into the atrium. On some older reviews, you can kind of see that these doors didn't seem, this is 4 days. Well, it did sail across the Atlantic, but this is 4 days. I don't think these doors were replaced. They might have been repainted, revarnished, but you can still see rust and stuff like that. So again, this was much more of a marine dry dock than it was anything else. Now, once we come in, you'll actually see this is the photo gallery from the Image Group. This is the Dream Studio from the Image Group. One of the important things about Carnival, and again, on No Pants Profits, we always focus on the profits and the no pants wearing. Carnival is very cheap to get on board the ship, but once you get on board the ship, everything's an upcharge. So unlike Virgin or some of those other lines where more is built in, everything here is an upcharge, and that's how Carnival that's how they make their money. That's the reality. So, you've got the photo gallery, which they won't even tell you the prices till you come back to review your photos. I know it very, very, very well. And this is not just gonna be a tour, it's gonna be a drinking tour. So we're gonna go to the center bar and get our first drink. So this is where we're having our first drink. I'm gonna circle back around. So this is the center bar. This is the main atrium. What you will notice is a majority of this ship is very, very late 90s, very Vegas. And you'll see there's fixtures. I'm gonna flip it around. They look kind of like a Chihuly glass. It's very, I think dated is a nice way to say it. Rather dated in age. Kind of looks like Vegas back in the day. I do love the gigantic pumpkin. You can see that line down there in the corner. That's because bingo is about to start, and bingo is a major thing here on the ship. So, if we go ahead, we will walk around. This is one of the 2 main dining rooms. So there is one central on deck 3 and 4 and one aft on deck 3 and 4. We did not spend a lot of time in the dining room because we actually went to the Steakhouse the first day and we did a chef's table the second day. So this is where they actually do the chef's table. It's right off the main dining room. See if we can peek in here. Yeah. So that's normally where they do the chef's table. Chef's table is about 20 courses. It's really quite an experience. 20-course chef table. Honestly, best meal on any cruise line that you can do. And then we've got this right here. This is one of the main dining rooms. Now, this is the choose your own time main dining room. Kind of come whenever you want to main dining room. It's in the center of the ship. Again, one of the really weird things about Carnival is you'll see these tables right here. You'd go, what are these used for? Well, they're generally used for when they're prepping your food and getting your food, kind of laying out the plates. But believe it or not, they also dance on them. So they dance on the tables, and it's a weird thing, but they do the dance on the tables. All right, so we're gonna leave the main dining rooms and we're gonna go around to the Shore Excursions desk and the guest services desk. Now, Shore Excursions and guest services, not used as much as they were back in the day, because I will say, I will give them credit. I will give them credit where credit's due. Carnival's app is actually really good. I have not had to go to guest services once this cruise because I can check my bill. I can do all of those things directly from the app on my phone.
Right.
Yep, I like it. We've got Mr. Pumpkin Jack right here. Where is Mr. Pumpkin Jack? So this is a Halloween decoration they got right here for the Carnival Conquest. And Mr. Big ol' Pumpkin Jack right there. And you've got live music that happens here during the day and during the night. Full bands, violin pieces, and everything of the sort. Next up, we've actually got, circle back around, that's where the Shore Excursions is. Right there. And again, we were talking about guest services before. And that's not just the line for guest services, that is actually the line to get into bingo in the theater. All right. Next up, we are going to be going to deck number 4. So, deck number 4 is still in the atrium. And if we take a walk up deck number 4, we're going to see something that's, I think, a little out of place on a cruise ship. It's something I've seen on every Carnival ship. I've done reviews on 3 Carnival ships. First question was, is Carnival really that bad? The answer is no. Second question is a $75 Alaska cruise pretty good deal? Answer is yes. This one was about $25 a person. So $25 a person to get on board, not bad. We'll talk a little bit how you do that. But you'll see you've actually got electric sensor gates making sure you don't steal the photos. And they're at every entrance and every exit to the photo gallery. So you'll see electric sensor gate, electric sensor gate, electric sensor gate, electric sensor gate, and the top floor of the dining room, which fortunately does not have any tables for dancing. Again, this is the anytime dining room, so you can either choose to have a fixed time for dining, or you can come for dining anytime you want. There's also, I'm not going to pan the camera over, but there's a kids club up here that you can go to and see. Oh, and what do we have here? Oh, rum. So that's our first drink, and it is from the lobby bar on deck 3. I'm not sure what this is. When someone hands you a glass and says it's rum, well, I mean, you're at sea, you're a pirate. Thank you, sir. Woo. Now, right outside the photo gallery, really, realistically, strangely, inside the photo gallery is the library. We're not going to make any noise in the library because, shh, it's a library. But here's the library. Quick. All right, quick look at the library. Now, the theater was all backed up with everybody wanting to buy bingo cards, but I think that's just to kind of show you. Talking about those gates, we're not going to look at the front of a photo, but supposedly on here, there are RFID chips that prevent you from stealing the photo. I am sort of an RFID expert. Oh, they do work. Do that once more. We're not actually going to steal a photo. I just want to know, look at that. I guess they do work. Again, not really stealing, but hey, they do actually work. Now we're going to take a look at the main theater. Now, they've done, one of my favorite things is Deal or No Deal. Some people on Carnival don't have shame in what they wear when they play Deal or No Deal, but Deal or No Deal has kind of taken over bingo, but they do have bingo as well. So here's a little idea. This is the port show. Let's just take a look. This is the main theater.
So you have a big chance to see the world as well, like, you know what I mean? Alaska, Australia, like, so all those cool places you can travel, and then technically it's a good opportunity to save the money, because we don't pay for housing, we don't pay for food, we don't pay for anything for here. Everything is like companies taking care of you. Companies even buying our flying tickets to fly in and out, so
Okay.
so you can save a lot of
All
money. And it's really good if you want to do something like special.
So,
Why not try it? If you're
like I said, there's production shows, there's bingo, that seems to be a meet the cast event right now that's talking with the cruise directors and the cruise staff and talking about what it is to work on board. I've actually never made a video about working on board ships because so many people have done it, but I worked on board ships for 7 years. Now, we have gone up from deck 4 and deck 3 up to deck 5. Deck 3 and deck 4 are not generally very large passenger accessible decks. Now you might go, why is that? Well, because there's a galley in the middle of them. So there's a big galley in the middle of them, so they're not as passenger accessible as one would think. And on deck 5, you've got the shops. Now let's talk the business of the shops. You've got shops on two different sides. Basically, on the, let's get oriented, port side is left, L-E-F-T, P-O-R-T. On the left side, you've got the cosmetics, you've got the liquor, you've got the lower end stuff. And on the right side, the starboard side, you've got the high end stuff. The whole goal of these shops is to take people and push them from the souvenir shop to the jewelry shop. That's the truth. That's how business works. There's a lot more margin over in the jewelry shop than there is in the liquor shop. But I do like to kind of show the liquor shop, show you some of the specials they've got in the liquor shop. So let me just show you some of the different specials they've got in the liquor shop if you are shopping for liquor. I've never heard of this liquor myself, but you may have. And my favorite special on liquor, gonna pick some up tonight, is Malibu, 2 for $30. Save about $5 to $7 each, depending on where you're buying it back at home. So you'll save about $5 to $7 on the Malibus overall. And you've got some nice perfumes and fragrances, tax and duty free, but whatever that means, that means. And you've got the Carnival shop right here, or the logo shop, where they have all of the cool Carnival gear, including a speaker you could put in the pool or bathtub. Kind of cool. All right. Moving on, let's go take a look at the shops on the other side. So, I'm gonna get over here at the Sky Bar. Gonna send the person who's going with me get a Porch Pig Amber draft. I'll meet you here. All right. So we're gonna look at the shops on the other side. Now that shop's operated by the gift shops. This shop's actually kind of unique to Carnival. It's kind of a kids store, because Carnival actually has kids pretty much year round. So you got kids pretty much year round, but this is actually operated by Carnival. This is not operated by the gift shops. So they have the fun hand washy station, which I love this. I had this on Virgin. And got all kinds of stuff for Cat in the Hat. They've got Cat in the Hat on board. They don't have the DreamWorks characters like Royal Caribbean and all those, but they got Cat in the Hat. They've got candy, and they've got great air conditioning in this store. I'll give them that. Oh, and this is where you can buy champagne if you wanted to buy champagne or roses. Cool. And like I said, the whole goal of all this is to move people over to the jewelry store. Now, I am a personal believer in Apple watches, but some people still like traditional watches. So you've got all the traditional watch brands that you can get tax and duty free, and they will price match a lot of the places ashore. And they have different promotions that they'll have out just for one day, like Viamar, jewelry for the love of travel. And a whole little Guess store back here, right? Yeah, Guess and Billabong. So if you do like any of those brands, you've got all those brands. And the watch and other thing collection, which generally has a watch and a purse, or a watch and a pen, or a watch and extra straps, or a watch and a pendant. So next place we're going to go is on this deck as well. It is attached to the casino, but it is not part of the casino. It is called the Skybox Sports Lounge. Skybox Sports Lounge is your best place to go if you want draft beer. So if you want draft beer, that's your place to go. Carnival actually makes between 4 and 5, it really depends on the time of year, 4 and 5 different of their own beer. They don't actually brew it, but they have a third-party company that brews their beer for them, and you can get it in a can or on draft. And my absolute favorite one to get on draft is called the Parched Pig. So this is the Skybox Sports Bar right there. And let's go in and let's see. Oh, hey, look, right on time. There's our nice beer right there.
That had been previously reported. And one person told us that they thought that the fact that they're fully revealed could have
All right.
the way the owners view Dan Snyder and his ownership.
Thank you, sir. Got a nice cold beer in a nice cold glass. You really can't ask for any more than a nice cold beer in a nice cold glass. But I need to open doors. I need to do different things like that. So cheers. Let's do it in one swig. Maybe not one swig. Didn't get enough oxygen in the lungs. Let's go. All right, we are moving on. Now the next place we're going to is actually the heartbeat of any Carnival ship. You might go, the heartbeat of any Carnival ship? Isn't that the theater? Isn't that the food? No. What Carnival's known for is they are known for the casino. Now, we're not allowed to tape in the actual casino, but as we're walking through the casino, it's okay. So as long as we stay off the carpet, we're good to go. Now, Carnival Casino. The best thing I can tell you, if it's your first time on a Carnival cruise, put a couple $100 through the machine in the casino. If you can't afford a couple $100, put $20, put $30. But what you want to do, here's the dirty secret. You want to make sure, instead of making a bunch of little spins, you make, ooh, that beer's coming up. You make a couple big spins. So instead of playing a penny slot for 50 cents, 30 cents, whatever, you make a couple big spins because it shows that you're a big spender. I have a friend who's sailing with me this cruise. He got 500 points, which is the equivalent of running a couple $100 through the machine. And he got that, and literally the day after he got 500 points, he's gotten $100, $20, all these different cruise offers. Because the casino, again, is the heartblood of a Carnival cruise. You'll see, just gonna walk through here on a sea day. You'll see it is nice. In fact, it's actually hard to get a seat at the tables most nights. I played roulette the other night, finally, for the first time. And I will tell you, I am wearing my nice hat right here because on the first night of the sailing, I actually got a $1,200 jackpot. Now, if you've ever seen this channel before, we've talked about gambling, you really want an $1,190 jackpot and not a $1,200 jackpot, because a $1,200 jackpot gets you a $1,200 tax form. So I did have to give them my tax information, and they're going to report that separately. No, like, I literally might have a tax problem right now. No, this is not good. No, I think I just won $1,200. No, these are dollars. Are you freaking kidding me? Because this is going on. Holy crap! That's a tax form! Why $1,200? Never! Now, here's the important thing. Once you get those casino offers in your email, you will likely get something else, which is called free drinks while playing in the casino. So you can actually get free drinks while playing in the casino, specifically when the casino bar is open. It's something that Carnival offers that, you know, the land-based resorts and stuff do offer as well, but you can actually get some really good drinks and make some really good money in the casino. This is the casino bar right here. And I'll tell you another great thing that Carnival offers, and, you know, to their casino players, last night, whoa, party over there. What I think that is, if I'm a betting man, and trust me, I am a betting man, what I think you're watching right there, that big celebration right there, is what's called a slot pull. And the slot pull is one of my favorite cons in the whole book. You might go, whoa, yep, they're cheering. Here's how it works. And some of you might be in a Facebook group and someone might invite you to a slot pull. So I'll tell you exactly how a slot pull works, and I'll talk about my food I got last night. So a slot pull, what they do is they get everybody to put in, that's on the Facebook group that wants to attend the slot pull. Everybody will put in, say, 20 bucks. And then everybody puts in 20 bucks, and then they'll spin the $5 slot machine 4 times each. And the concept is you get a lot more tries. Whoa! Big ol' celebration back there. You get a lot more tries for a lot less money. But here's the dirty secret. If you can organize a slot pull, it is best for you. Because you put your card in and you get points for all that play yourself. That's the scheme, that's the scam. You put your... So the idea is everyone will go ahead, put in 20 bucks, put in 20 bucks, put in 20 bucks, and you'll cash out at the end, and you'll have a nice amount of money there. Now back to this, what was really cool is I was actually able to order a Philly cheesesteak to the roulette table last night, which was kind of cool. I finally got a seat at the roulette table, which getting a seat at the roulette table is a lot of fun, but I was able to actually get a Philly cheesesteak delivered. It knew where I was. It had me take a selfie of myself, and eventually a lady showed up at the roulette table when my 000 hit, and right as the 000 hit, what shows up? A Philly cheesesteak shows up right as 000 actually hits. But we're gonna move along. Got my friend who's traveling with me getting another surprise drink. I told him, surprise me, getting another surprise drink at the casino bar. Unfortunately, of note, the casino bar on the Carnival Conquest does not, I will say again, does not have a draft beer system. So it's a little bit different. Now, I'm sure if you watch Carnival news, if you watch cruise ship news, you've heard a lot of stuff going on with fights and people not following the rules and all these other fun things. And I will tell you, something happened right here last night at 2:30 in the morning, and I have a video of it. And you're like, okay, well, you can show me. You can show me a video of a fight or something like that? And the answer is no. It's kind of a flash mob that happened at 2:30 in the morning. People started singing. People started playing the piano. It's quite a unique watch. Shop right here. This is the Carnival Adventure Shop. This just seems to be a bunch of Carnival branded merchandise, and again, this one seems to be run directly by Carnival instead of by the third party that is on board that runs the gift shops. But you'll see. Oh, you can get a whale or a turtle or a pink turtle or a dolphin or any of these other things with your onboard credit that you might have, or any of your winnings from the very, very, very nearby casino. And this is probably my favorite thing on the ship. I have 3D printed so many of these back in the day. This was that you could open the door without needing to use your hands during the time of how do you call it, the illness. So kind of cool that you got that passport holder, different things like that if you forgot. There is also a very, very, very limited amount of a sundry shop on board, and that sundry shop is located inside of the gift shop. That sundry shop is located inside of the gift shop. All right, so let's move on deck 5 and talk about what else is on deck 5 here. So you do also have on deck 5, you have the coffee bar. Coffee bar's right here. Big old line at the coffee bar. Where's my bottle of water? Coffee bar right there. Now, unlike some of the higher end lines, if you've sailed Celebrity, or you've sailed Princess, or you've sailed Virgin, or you've sailed Holland America, a lot of these snacks in the coffee, well, all these snacks in the coffee bar are not included. So some of the other lines will actually include the snacks that are in the coffee bar. Carnival does not include the snacks that are in the coffee bar. But here's a look at some of the snacks in the coffee bar. And one of my favorites is that bacon caramel donut right there. Probably gonna have one of those right when this video is done shooting. Now, unlike the others of the Conquest class, this has still not gotten the Rum Bar here yet, so this is still a kids club. If you go on the other Conquest class ships, this kids club has magically been transitioned into a Rum Bar. The Rum Bar is actually only on the pool deck right now, so you've only got the Rum Bar up on deck 9 on the Lido deck. But I will show you, some people asked, they said when this ship was going through all these transitions and everything like that, would they get rid of the architecture? Would they get rid of some of the stuff that made this a timepiece in history maybe? And the answer is not really. This all actually stays, all this Chihuly-like glass, that's actually from the time period overall. And guess what we've got? We've got our next drink, more rum. Oh, Kraken rum. That's a great Caribbean rum. I think Jamaican rum. Let's see. Oh, smells good. Smells strong. Cheers. And then we've actually got kind of an interesting place right here. And I like to show this because what this is this is what's called the Training Wheels Casino. Start them young, start them real young. This is the Training Wheels Casino, this is the arcade. And I like to say, and I say this in all my Carnival review videos, the arcade is like a TARDIS. If you know anything about Doctor Who, it's like a TARDIS. When you walk in, it doesn't actually look that big. It's like, okay, there's a few games, but I want to show you the arcade because it goes pretty crazy. It's a pretty crazy arcade. You got a prize hub, your tickets on the card, but it's a pretty crazy arcade. Hey there. And unfortunately, you don't get points for playing in the arcade like you do in the casino. But you can see that arcade is so much bigger on the inside than it is on the outside. And they've even got some kind of VR things if you wanted to do some VR. But yeah, there is the arcade. And look, if a lot of people go, you want to find some hidden ducks on board. If you're one of the cruising duck group, you can actually play for a prize every time in the Plucky Ducky game. Kind of cool. All right, then you got the candy game that you can play for a prize every time. Let's, you know what? I've never actually played. I've literally never played in the arcade on a Carnival ship before, so I'm gonna see how we do this. Swipe to play. Let's go. Select price level. 1 credit. Here we go. And we're gonna play for some ducks. I might be really bad at this game, but I like to do something a little different every video here. Let's see. Go, 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 go. We play till we win. Well, we didn't win that. Come on. Got to find a duck that's a little bit more ready to pay out. Let's see. Ooh, very limited movement here. Play till you win, play till you win, play till you win. Come on. Pink duck! Pink duck! Boom! So yes, I'm a winner, both in the real casino with a $1,200 jackpot earlier in the cruise, and believe it or not, with my little pink duck. So if you didn't find a duck on your cruise, you can always come over to the casino and get yourself a duck for $1.50 with a winner every game. But trust me, that claw machine was real set to easy. The dirty secret to claw machines, if you don't know this, these claw machines, they don't grip down very hard unless there's a guaranteed winner. Then they'll grip down very hard, but got my little pink ducky. You'll see, even that one just gripped. I just went away, but this is really training the children. Get the kids trained early for the casino. Now we've got the nightclub, and the nightclub is generally a nightclub, but during the sea days or during the different times at sea, you've got that nightclub that becomes a art auction place. So we're gonna go in for 20 seconds and just kind of show you what's going on with the art auction. 20 seconds. 20-second art auction.
Thank you very much. Have a lovely afternoon.
And everyone's now leaving the art auction. So that was Peter Max. That was not Peter Max himself, but Peter Max works at the art auction there now. That is actually run by Park West, which is a Las Vegas-based gallery, but they have a separate LLC that's available for the sea. They always appraise their work for far more than it's worth, and they offer you an additional appraisal. I have a lot of experience with Park West. I don't want to get myself sued. I'm just saying they give you an appraised price, and then you can get an additional appraisal if you'd like to. Whatever those are worth, they're actually worth. Now, right outside the nightclub, you've got the Alchemy Bar. So the Alchemy Bar opens about 2 o'clock, so that'll be open in about a couple minutes from now. Opens about 2 o'clock, and you'll see they've got all kinds of different drinks and fun stuff right there. They've got a whole menu. You have one of the menus real quick? I'm not going to order. I just want to show the coolness of the menu. Because what's really cool is the menus actually, well, if they're charged, if they're charged, they light up. This is the main, yeah, he's got one. This is the main unique cocktail bar, yeah. The main unique cocktail bar. I'm more of a fan of the Rum Bar, but it's the really unique cocktail bar on board, and is included in your Cheers package if you do actually have a Cheers package. But again, lights up, lights on. The Alchemy Bar. Now moving on from the Alchemy Bar, we're going to go towards the Piano Bar. And you know, I have a feeling. My feeling is, I've looked around this piano bar, I think they actually did do a very good job in the piano bar, and they made some changes and fixes and updates to the piano bar during the dry dock, because it actually looks in really, really, really good condition. So this is the piano bar right here. We're just going to walk through it really quick. And you've got a piano entertainer called Bob that does the piano entertainments here each night.
It was a rotten lobster.
Lobster.
Give me a clap if you see a big sign at the side of the road that says
15 miles to the bonsai.
new kicks and tenderness. She's got a new addiction for every day and night. She'll make you take your love and go dancing in the rain. Let me go. Go, 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 go. Mamma mia, mamma mia, mamma mia. We have to go on the devil side for me, for me, for me. connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and me. It's just a jump to the left. Put your hands on your hips. Let's hear it.
He's uptight.
Yeah. Come on, people.
Let's do time again. And we'll go to the next place. So once we leave the piano bar, we've got the way. Did I say way? Way too small comedy club. They should be doing comedy in the main theater of the ship, but instead of doing comedy in the main theater, they do the comedy instead in this little bar right here in the back of the boat. Now, two really cool, so they have comedians, they pretty much have one family-friendly comedy set and two adult sets, or two family-friendly and one adult set. Let's be honest, the adult sets, they're a bad word set. If you know anything about the history, what's happened in Carnival in the past few months, there was a comedian that was throwing around all kinds of racial slurs and stuff like that, and didn't turn out too well for that comedian. But this is also directly at the aft of the boat, and it's got a nice big bar. So if you can't find normal seating, go ahead and have a seat at the bar. Big old bar right here, and my favorite drink available in the comedy club is called the Zany Zombie. That's my favorite drink. It's called the Zany Zombie. It's the closest thing you're gonna get to a tiki drink on Carnival's old class of ships, being this class of ships. But I do want to show you one more. This is like my favorite random furniture thing on all the conquest class of ships. See this right here? You got a normal seating, but this can face the stage for a show. What's really cool is I can actually just take this and rotate it around when the show's not going on. And when the show is going on, rotate it back. And it's one of those really cool features you're like, why didn't every ship have this? But I really love the design there. Now, there's another venue that they're not quite using yet. Now, I want to talk about capacity on this sailing. They're not up to a full crew capacity yet, I believe, but this ship actually didn't wait much for a lot of things. Had a lot of crew, but they don't have the bands and everything quite yet all back in play like they were recently, and I guess the CD skipping here. But they don't have all the bands and stuff quite back in place like before. This ship is currently sailing at about 90% guest capacity, and I have Vincent's Bar right here. I really haven't seen used yet. They use it for some spa seminars and different things like that, but this is Vincent's Bar right next to the comedy club and the piano lounge. Should be a jazz bar. That's what it really should be, as a jazz bar. I've not been in here other than literally right now this cruise. This is a 4-day sailing. This is my first time in here. The fact that no one's in here, it's about 80 degrees outside, which we're about to go outside. Not 80 degrees, it's about 85, 90 degrees outside. But in here, it's a crisp 60. As a big boy myself, I'm loving that crisp 60 degrees. It's cold in here, and I like that it's cold in here. Now, we have to talk about a hidden bar here, and this is the hidden bar that a lot of people miss. It's not a secret bar. It's just kind of off the beaten path because the main galley actually goes where this bar actually is. So the main galley is where this bar is, so we couldn't cut through on 3 or 4. If you remember, we had to go up to deck 5 to cut through the ship. So going up to deck 5, once we cut through the ship, you'll see them breaking down the art gallery. Something really cool. We call it the Funky Monkey. This is the disco club, where everybody's dancing funky. And we've got the Funky Monkey there, or the disco where they're breaking down the art. But if we go down to deck 4, there's actually a secret, well, or not so secret, karaoke bar. Not open right now, we'll do karaoke's and other trivias and stuff like that. I will tell you on other Conquest class ships, they did turn this into the Rum Bar, but they didn't turn this into the Rum Bar on this ship. Was on the one that starts with an S. That's a Conquest class ship that they turned this into the Rum Bar. This is still just kind of a normal bar that they will do karaoke in. Now, we did just have earlier today, about an hour ago, we did just finish brunch. If you've not done brunch on a Carnival ship, brunch is something that the Carnival ships are actually very, very, very well known for, especially the 12-hour French toast. That takes them 12 hours to make. But this is the fixed seating dining room. So if you have a fixed seating at say like 6 and 8, this is where you'd actually come. Beautiful work of art right here that I'm actually seeing for the first time this cruise. But this is the Monet restaurant. Now you'll notice this whole ship, it does have kind of a 90s, early 2000s Vegas feel to it, but it has a French theme. So it's kind of like the Paris Hotel in Vegas is what it's going to feel like. But they've kept the Paris Hotel a lot more updated. And you'll see right here, here's the whole dining room. 2 levels, but what's unique here is you get the same server every night. So you can sign up, you can get the same server every night. They'll know your preferences, they'll have your drinks waiting on the table and other things like that, but you do have to be here at defined times. You have about a 20-minute window that you can be here in. Now, one of the other nice things about this dining room in the back of the boat is you do have a very, very nice view of the wake and the ocean and other things like that. Right below us again, or right above us again, sorry, is the Comedy Club, but you'll see here is a view of the back of the wake of the boat. So what we've done now is we've actually seen all the stuff on deck 3, 4, and 5. 6, 7, and 8, so deck 1 and 2, and decks 6, 7, and 8 are actually passenger decks. So 1, 2, 6, 7, 8, passenger decks on board the Carnival Conquest class of ships. But we've also got some other fun stuff on deck 9, 10, 11, and 12. And unfortunately for myself, for some of those decks, we have to use some stairs. But let's go ahead and let's ride. We're going to ride an elevator, hopefully our own elevator, up to deck 9 right now. And we're going to take a look at deck 9, which is the classically named cruise ship deck, the Lido deck. But let's just quickly review, because we've got a cruise ship map right here. No through access in the galley, which is why we had to go up. We've got all these French name things: Picasso Art Gallery, we're now restaurant, artist lobby and bar, guest services, the dining room annex, internet cafe, casino, Skybox, cherry on top, Tahiti casino, all those other things like that. And we've got our own elevator. Now, oh my God, this is the elevator. What do I mean by this is the elevator? You've actually got, right up here, the Michelangelo, touched by his noodly appendage, if you are a believer in the Pastafarian religion, like myself. Deck 5. So deck 5 is the deck you can cut across. Got the elevator right here. Now I will tell you, for a newly refreshed ship, these elevators are trash. Okay, I have to press buttons multiple times. There are light fixtures hanging down or missing, and you really are like, did this thing really go through a dry dock 1 week ago? So the one thing they didn't focus on was the elevators. Now this is the Lido deck at the peak of lunchtime. So you never know what you're going to find at the Lido deck at the peak of lunchtime, but let's go check it out. So this is the back pool. So we've gone all the way up from deck 4 to deck 9. And here is the pool in the back, and I have to always remember, you got to press the button. Now what's unique about this pool is, in the case of inclement weather, there is actually a roof that will close on this pool. And you'll see the pizza line, quite long. And you've got a bar right in the back here. You've got a pool, and you've got 2 hot tubs. Well, what do you do if you don't want to wait in a pizza line for 20 minutes? Valid question, Richard. What do you do if you don't want to wait in a pizza line for 20 minutes? Well, Carnival has provided a very interesting option, which we did actually use on Key West Day. So on Key West Day, we actually went to the Seafood Shack. So we went to the Seafood Shack on Key West Day, which you pay $7, and you don't gotta wait in line. You just sit, you get your food delivered to you, your food ordered to you in a bunch of different ways, but you are paying additional for food on board to not have to wait in lines. Now that pizza line, that pizza shop is open until 4 a.m. Most days. It did used to be a 24-hour-a-day option, but it's open till 4 a.m. now on most days. Now what we're gonna do, we're gonna take another bar pit stop real quick at this bar right here, which is in the back of the boat. This is the back bar. But we're gonna take a quick spin around the buffet while we wait for our drink to come from that back bar. So the buffet itself, again, this is Pizza Pirate, open till 4 a.m. Not open 24 hours anymore. It did get as low as 1 a.m. back when Carnival had a staffing shortage the summer of 2022. But this is the main buffet. Main buffet on the Lido Deck, which is actually called the Lido Deck on this ship. Some newer ships have dropped the Lido Deck and put fancier terms. So this is, again, the main buffet. Take a look at what we got here. The Comfort Kitchen. A bunch of different stuff in the Comfort Kitchen. Salads. I myself am salad intolerant, but we do have salads. Do have a nice carving station there for roast beef and some different options as far as dessert goes. Very pretty cake. Just some pretty looking cakes. But here's one of the biggest secrets on any Carnival ship. And the time to go here to this biggest secret is actually on the first day you get on board, on Embarkation Day. Nobody knows this exists. There might actually be a line now. But this is one of my favorite things in the whole restaurant on board the Conquest class of ships. They've got the top secret, not really Guy Fieri's barbecue, but technically Guy Fieri's barbecue place. Now, I did speak to the executive chef during our chef's table. This is actually all smoked off board and then reheated on board. But this is the old-fashioned barbecue. It's on deck 10. It's on deck 10 of the buffet, directly above it. Again, gets a little bit of a line, but it's actually not too bad. I think it's because a lot of people haven't found it yet. But this is probably the best food to have up here in the buffet, in my personal opinion. Give you an idea of what they got. They got pork butt, chicken, smoked beef, mac and cheese, potato salad, coleslaw, molasses baked beans, soft bun, and all of the Guy Fieri barbecue sauces. But we'll see, there's our smoked beef right there. And the pork butt. And I will tell you, these are all really, 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 really good options. And you've got the Guy Fieri barbecue sauce as well. You do have a Guy's burger place, which we'll take a look at in a moment. But I think it's time to check on the drinks. So we're gonna go right back down to the back of the boat bar. I think that's the safest thing to call it. Is BOTB Bar. Making up that name. Probably has a real name. Let's go back to the BOTB Bar. And hopefully we have yet another mystery drink. 44 minutes into this tour. Huh? Woohoo! All right. And it's time for drink number 4, drink number 5, I don't even know. Drink number 4, don't worry. Spiced rum. We got a couple more drinks on this tour. You're not doing the Carnival tour right if you're not drinking during it. That's the way I feel. So we got some spiced rum. Oh, that's nice. It's so spiced, so nice, it will change your life. All right. So we saw the barbecue. I want to show you some other places to eat up on deck 9. Then we're going to go ahead and we're going to keep going forward. We're going to take a look at the spa. We're going to take a look at the fitness center. And we're going to keep moving forward. All right. So we've gone to this side of the buffet. I want to show you 2 other things on the other side of the buffet. What you got on this side of the buffet, yeah? Again, it's a little busy. Like I said, this ship's about 90% capacity. This is the sandwich place. Got some great options in the deli. My favorite option, which I haven't had a chance to have this cruise, is actually the buffalo chicken sandwich. That's my favorite. Now, as of right now, I will tell you something I've had on all the other Conquest class ships, but I've not had on the Conquest, which Conquest was the first of the class, is they actually have a stir-fry station on the other Conquest class ships where they'll make you fresh stir-fry. But I do want to show you one more thing up here in the buffet, which is the sushi. And no, the sushi is not included. Again, remember, Carnival, you get on for a lower price, but less is included once you're on board. I think that's the important thing. You can't compare Carnival to something like Virgin, where you're in a different specialty dining restaurant every single evening. It's not how Carnival works. You're not in a different specialty dining restaurant every single evening. But you'll see, again, just like the Seafood Shack, you'll see there's no crowds over here by the sushi because you have to pay for each sushi item individually. So this is the Bonsai Sushi Express. Again, still inside of the buffet. And you'll see the different stuff right here. Sushi sashimi, rolls, poke bowls. I am not a person that enjoys sushi myself, but on my last Carnival cruise, I did have somebody traveling with me who enjoyed sushi. I bought him a sushi roll. You know what? They said it's pretty good. About the same as most land-based places. Now, next place I'm going to take you to is to the Taco Bar. Taco Bar, Burrito Bar, the Cantina. Now, not all Carnival ships actually have this one. Once they go through a dry dock, they get this. I think this might have been actually something that the Conquest got in dry dock this time. But this is the Cantina Tiki Bar. Not Tiki Bar, sorry. I said Tiki Bar. I want a Tiki Bar. This is the Cantina Taco Bar. And it's right out here. And right before the Taco Bar, we've got soft serve, which, if you wanted to. This is going to be fun with the camera. Whoop. I lost a little piece there. There's a small black piece. Seriously. On the floor. Do you see a small black piece? Thank you very much. All right. So I did lose my camera lens, but a very, very nice passenger set. Well, so look, I get thinner. It's great. But this is the Blue Iguana Cantina, which exists of a taco place as well as a bar. Got a lot of different options. Got my ice cream there. Very small ice cream. But out. Ooh. It is about 90 degrees out here now. I'll give you that. Thank you. It's about 90 degrees out here. Woo! It is hot. All right. Hey there, voiceover Richard here. This got way too loud out here. It's kind of like a club-like atmosphere by the pool, and being a club-like atmosphere doesn't really work too well. So you've got both a rum and tequila bar outside that have frozen drinks and all kinds of different rum and tequila and fun cocktails. And this is the main pool on the Carnival Conquest. They did do a little bit of work on the main pool. It does look like all the panels have been replaced and everything actually looks pretty good, but this is the Tequila Bar, which is tied to the little taco place that's over in the corner. We've got the Tequila Bar. Do remember that since it is a Carnival cruise, you still have to check out your towels. That's the towel bar where you check out your towels. And you've got a water slide up there, which I was not adventurous enough this cruise to actually do. This is the Rum Bar. There is only one of these rum bars. There's not an indoor rum bar. There's only an outdoor rum bar. When there are deck parties, this is the bar that is open. This is where you can get the giant yards of beer and different things like that. And on the right-hand side, or right over by the rum bar, yeah, that's Red Frog's Rum Bar, you've got the Guy Fieri burger place, which has about 5 standard burgers and 1 special burger, and they have an excellent toppings bar. I do have to say this is probably the best free poolside burger you could get at sea on any cruise line, which is kind of a really cool find to have the best free poolside burger you can get at sea on any cruise line. But back out to the pool, this is the middle of a sea day, about 1:30 p.m. on a sea day, so you'll see it's nice and full. The loungers are pretty full as well, and they have that giant screen. They did some deck parties and some Halloween Halloween costume contest outside over the course of the entire sailing. But it does get very hot out this time of the year. It was October. It's still very, 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 very warm in October, so I would have preferred if there would have been more locations like this indoors that are available, especially when sailing in the Caribbean this time of the year. You can see these bars were a little bit overwhelmed, but overall, quite an interesting deck space, and warm, hot, a little crowded, but an interesting place. Thank you, voiceover Richard. It is basically like a club out there right now. There is no way you're going to hear me in any way, shape, or form. But we've got, it's basically a nightclub out there. And we've got some Hennessy right here now for number 5, drink number 5 in 53 minutes. Really about 50 minutes. And we've got a hydration station. But we're still up here on deck 9. We're up on deck 9 forward-ish. We're going to check out the spa next, but... Oh, Richie don't like Hennessy very much. Richie learned that. But it is time, if you are watching this and taking shots along with me, it's bad for your liver, but hydration time. This ain't no Disney water. This is real water. If you know anything about Disney, Disney water is where you take a water bottle and you fill it with vodka, and you're like, hey, I'm just staying hydrated all day. Best way to drink at the Magic Kingdom in Disney World because it's actually a dry park. Moving on, we're going to take a look next at the spa, which is actually run by One World / Steiner. You may actually know them as Steiner back in the day, but they have rebranded to One World because there was something finer than a Steiner. If you're a cruise ship member, cruise ship crew member, you will understand that joke. If you're not a cruise ship crew member, you will not understand that joke. Let's see what deck it's on. We're actually, we're on 9. We've got, we actually have to go up a little bit more to get to the spa. And we're going to do this thing that we haven't done so far. It's called stairs. We do got one more drink on this tour. 10. Actually, let's stop on deck 10. I forgot about something on deck 10. So we actually spent some time on deck 10 on the first night of the cruise. If you are going to be doing the Steakhouse on board, the upcharge Steakhouse is like $40 a person. You're going to do that on the first night of the cruise. We're going to go through the club again. So hopefully Richard will give you a nice voiceover. Hey there, voiceover Richard again, back out on the pool deck. Again, if you are looking for someplace quiet, the Carnival Fun pool deck is not for you. This is up on deck 11, deck 10, where the slide actually comes out. Again, I didn't get a chance to ride the slide, but they do only have a single slide, and it is not enclosed, so it's not as scary as some slides on some other Carnival ships. I went down a drop slide on another Carnival ship, actually in Alaska. But this pool deck really epitomizes and is, along with the casino, kind of is the fun ship. You've got the DJ playing out for most of the day on the sea days, and something that you've got that's pretty standard for every Caribbean cruise is you've got someone that's actually playing the steel drum. What made this very unique is something I've never seen before. It was not a male steel drum player or a male steel drum band. It was a solo female steel drum artist, which is something that I've never seen before. I do have to say she's actually quite talented at what she's doing and really unique for the brand, and I love to see that different representation of, you know, different genders and both male and female in that art form. It's something that I've truly never seen before. All right, so yet again leaving the nightclub, we come to the Steakhouse, which again I recommend if you do the Steakhouse on, as of right now, as of October 2022, if you do the Steakhouse on the formal night, or on the first night of the cruise, you get a free bottle of wine with dinner. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I looked up that bottle of wine. It's less than a $10 bottle of wine at wholesale. But Hey, it works. Get you there. This is the Steakhouse. It's kind of built on the top of the buffet. You can actually go down to the buffet. The closest bathroom is the guy's burger bar. I will tell you, when we were at the Steakhouse, every dish either came out too hot or too cold. And the Steakhouse was literally, not a joke, a 3.5 hour experience. The chef's table took a considerably less period of time than the Steakhouse did. Wasn't great, wasn't terrible. Had some casino and onboard credit that I put towards it, so I wasn't super angry with it. But honestly, this is probably one of the biggest failures of the ship, because it literally took 3.5 to 4 hours. We did not have a single piece of food for the first hour at the Steakhouse. That's just water, not vodka, as the Disney trick suggests. Moving on, let's go check out the spa. So again, like I said, spa is Steiner or One World in nature, and we're gonna try and avoid the nightclub scene as much as we can on the way back. But it's just booming, loud music, party time. That's just the Carnival way, essentially. That's just the way it is, but like I said earlier, never seen a female steel drum player before. And I always forget you have to press the button there.
I love your shirt.
Thanks, sir. All right, so to get back to the spa, we did have to go through the nightclub that is the pool deck again. I hate to keep reminding you, but there really is no escape from loud, bumping music that you can't hear each other, you can't have a conversation, you can't do anything. And this spans the entirety of the outdoor center of the ship. The back of the ship in the outdoor section is a little bit quieter. It's kind of where the food is and where that relaxation pool is. And we've got an area in the front of the ship we're going to take a look at a little bit later. But we kind of had to go around, and the decks was pretty full. There was 90% of people on board, so a lot of the chairs were taken. A lot of the chairs were actually taken really, really early in the day. But you did have, if you went further away from the party per se, you had more chairs that you were able to get. So the further away you got from the music, the further away you got from the thumping, bumping of things, hey, if that's your thing, I'm not judging you, but the further you got away from all of that, the easier it got to actually find a spot and keep your spot. What's very nice is it is tiered, so there are multiple levels. It's on deck 9, it's on deck 9.1, deck 9.2, deck 9 3/4, not a Harry Potter reference, but you know, it's on deck 9 3/4 and everything like that. Now, up those stairs is the Serenity Area, which we'll take a look at in a minute, and that's where the music kind of gets a little more tranquilo. All right. Woo! Finally out of that nightclub pool, and hopefully I'm going to show you a pool area, relaxation area that is not the nightclub. But we are on deck 11 forward now, which is where we've got the spa. Disconnect from the world and unplug yourself here. And it says to use your phone to unplug yourself. I done find that funny. Now, the idea is the spa is actually run by an outside company, Steiner/One World, and you'll see advertising for a free seminar, Detox for Health and Wellness. They are actually trying to sell you some seaweed stuff that'll make things better in your gut and supposedly help you lose weight. And then we've got a free footprint analysis, which they're selling you something called Good Feet, I think. Good Feet? Is that what you guys are doing? Yes, yeah. So they do the free footprint analysis, and they've got Good Feet there. And we got the whole spa right here. Whoop. You've got a salon, which people come to get dressed up, get done for the formal night, get their nails done, everything like that. Last day, a lot of people have a lot of onboard credits that they're actually trying to use in the spa. And then you've got a whole shop for Elmis products over here. I think. This is Elmis, right, in the shop? Yeah, I think so. I'm just going to making a video. Oh, I just want to take a video. So you've got, this is Elmis products. Again, when you get a service, they're generally going to upsell you to a product because they get a bonus when they sell a product. And that, let's quick look at the spa. what we're going to do, we're going to cover the lens real quick because we're going to go through the locker room. We're going to cover the lens. Sorry, guys. Actually, point it to the ceiling. There's nothing in the ceiling. I just want to show you the fitness center, but you do have to go through the locker rooms to get to the fitness center. Lens is in the air. But I do actually want to show you the fitness center. Lens is in the air, guys. And we've got the fitness center, which strangely you have to go through the locker room to get into. But got a nice view off the front of the boat. Not my favorite view off the front of the boat, which we're going to get to in just a minute. But cardio equipment, beautiful, beautiful. I have to say, it's a beautiful studio with natural light for they do all their courses and their classes in this really nice studio with natural light. Looks like guests can use this as well as crew with guest area access can use this as well. Then you got cardio, then you got weight equipment, got all this fun things like that. And unfortunately, I'm going to send you guys back to the ceiling in a second because we're going to walk right back through the men's locker room. So we're going to go point to the ceiling so we don't have anything going on. Up to the ceiling. So yep, unfortunately you have to walk through the locker rooms to get there. So that's why we put the camera up to the ceiling so nobody sees what's going on because the camera's on the ceiling and there's nothing on the ceiling. All right, there we go. So that is the spa, and we're gonna end one of my favorite places on board and my absolute favorite place to actually watch a sail away. If you want to watch, I like to use this in Miami. I like to use the other ports. Anywhere you really want to watch a sail away is in the Serenity Deck. Now this is adults only, or people aged 16 years of age or older, and it has a really nice bar. It's going to be good for our last drink, and it should be significantly quieter than the rest of the ship. So yes, this is the Serenity Deck, adult only retreat. So it's like a Virgin cruise on a Carnival cruise. It actually really is. But hopefully we'll have a drink in a minute. They've got a nice little service bar right here on the top deck. So here's our nice little service bar. Service bar! Yay! And I'm going to show you, yes, I'm going to show you my favorite place on the boat in a minute, but you'll see you actually get some really nice views when you're sailing out of Miami or when you're sailing anywhere else. You get some really cool views right from here. But this is all an adults only area. That little ball right there, I'm very familiar with. Those are their satellite dishes for both internet and TV and phone service. But the phone service primarily just works off of an internet connection. So it's nothing insane, nothing crazy. And we're on deck 11 still. We're going to go up to deck 12 in a minute. That's some foreshadowing. You've also got right up here on deck 11, you've got all the kids programs. So if you do have kids, they'll be safely up here inside of the adult area. And you go, why are there kids in the adult area? You know what? Well, those are things in life I question too. I really do question those things in life every single day. All right, and we've got our last drink of the tour, which, Mai Tai? What are you doing? No?
Just a regular Jack.
Oh, just straight Jack. Seems like my drink order is trying to get me messed up.
Yes.
So if you've noticed slurring speech during this, I apologize. But let me show you my favorite place. This is on right above deck 11. This is on deck 12 forward, and this is the furthermost front of the ship you can be in. And one of the nice things about this is you can actually be in a hot tub. And the dirty secret is, when you are in the hot tub, they will come around and take drink orders from you. But this is deck 12 forward. We've got 2 hot tubs right there and right there. And that is literally my favorite place to watch the sail away. And you'll notice that I can actually talk to you here. I don't need to do a voiceover, unlike the rest of the pool deck, because this is the quiet part of the pool deck. So, there's a tour. Let me give you a simple review of Carnival. I think this is the important thing to understand. Oh, hold on. I knew my drink. I'll do it at the end. With Carnival, I paid total, with taxes and port fees and everything like that, about $200 for a 4-day cruise on Carnival. 4 days, 4 nights, 5 days on Carnival. Paid about $400 for 2 people. That is for an inside cabin. You can take a look at the cabin right now. So this is our cabin 8358. It is literally 3 decks directly above the casino. Right in the back of the cabin is actually the elevator, so sometimes there's a little bit of noise if you are looking at cabin 8358. That should be known. It is an inside cabin. Cost a deposit based on my casino play of about $35 a person. Came along with an onboard credit of $100. You do have to pay taxes and port fees and gratuities on top of that. Pretty nice for an inside cabin. A lot of room in this inside cabin, and you see you've got a really sizable bathroom right there that has a lot of storage and a lot of room, much bigger than most modern bathrooms on cruise ships because they try and squeeze every inch of space they can out. And you've got a huge amount of closet storage. If you had a cruise that was longer than 4 days, you could store all of your clothes here, so great room for longer vacations. One thing important about the cabin is there is only one single plug outlet in the cabin. So you do want to bring an extension cord or a multi-plug of some sort. There are USB plugs on the lights, and those USB plugs on the lights are quite useful if you need to charge something via USB. But overall, again, with Carnival, you get what you pay for. And I'll be honest with you, winning a $1,200 jackpot on the first night of the cruise, Carnival paid me to be here. So even better than getting what you're paid for is Carnival paying you to be on board. So I'm gonna bring in my bar assistant. This is AJ.
Hello, AJ.
He's been helping. Whoa, no, come this way.
Oh.
We got too much backlighting.
Yep.
He's been helping me get drinks this entire thing. So you got some drink there?
Got some drink.
Let's toast to everybody's next Carnival cruise.
Go Carnival.
Toasting to your next Carnival cruise. This is Richard and AJ the alcoholic.
Baby guy.
No, AJ the alcoholic for this cruise because he's been trying all the drinks for the last 69 minutes, saying that when you wear no pants, what do you have left to lose?
Nothing but your shirt.
Yep, let's toast.
Cheers. Prost.
This is No Pants Profits out from the Carnival Conquest on its first sailing after dry dock. Bottoms up.